I know that it's not sexy. I know that it's not fun. I know that that's not what you want me to say. Hey, it's Mads, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you? I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much. Sorry, my cat is. You have something to say, Ketchup? You got something to say? You put the mic in front of her and she's got nothing to say. She says thank you too. Anyway, I need to talk to you guys about something. I have a confession to make. I am a shopaholic. Well, recovered shopaholic. I have put in a lot of work to become better and not spend every single dollar I have at a store when I find something cute and fun. I feel like that is just a quality of me being a girl, and I've always been a treasure hunt person. I've loved thrifting. I've thrifted most of my life. I don't remember a time where I wasn't in the thrift store. My mom would take us to thrift stores when we were kids and stuff like that. I fell in love with the hunt. Falling in love with the hunt meant I fell in love with the kill. And once I got that big girl credit card, click, 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 tap, 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 I was credit carding. I've really sat down and developed and thought out the 3 things that I changed, to go from being a shopaholic to a recovering shopaholic. These are the 3 things that really helped me and changed my relationship to shopping and buying and consuming. Because really, at the end of the day, the essence of thrifting is to slow down consumption. And if you're over consuming thrifting, it's really a moot point. Right? So these are the 3 things that I did to really help me change my relationship with shopping and change my relationship with thrifting specifically. The first thing I did was make what I like to call a green light list. This list is so important. This is if you're gonna only do one thing, it's do this. I have it in my notes app. I keep it updated. I even have this note shared with my partner. If you live with someone or you have a roommate, I recommend sharing this list with them, especially if you shop for other people. It is really useful to have this list going on, so then you are all on the same page and it's an open communication and open dialogue. That really helps. But what this list is really for is to create things that you can buy that you don't have to feel guilty for or shame for or anything. These are things that if you find something you really love, you're gonna buy it and you're not gonna feel bad about it. It was on your to buy list. The key to making this list is really thinking it out beforehand and making sure you're updating this list ongoing. 2 requirements for things that go on my green light list, and they are that the item is specific. I find that if I just put books in general or frames in general, I will just buy too many things again and then it just defeats the purpose. What goes on my list has to be specific. For example, let's look at a couple of things. Bed sheets. Now, these aren't bed sheets that I want for my bed. These are bed sheets for projects. I've been doing a lot of sewing here on my channel, and one of my favorite projects to do is to transform a bed sheet into, right now, sundresses or anything else. I've been thinking about other things. So right now, I'm on the hunt for springy, summertime patterned bed sheets that are in good condition, that are either a queen or a king size. I'm okay if it has elastic or not, but elastic is preferred because it's an extra free material. I can get with that. Very specific, so it's a very specific item. Also, for example, another list item on here I have is mugs, and not just any mugs. I want large to extra large, and I have in there Sparks Joy. I want them to be unique, fun, and look good on camera. I drink a lot of tea. I don't like coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I drink a heckin' lot of tea. So those are examples of super specific things that are on my list that I'm looking for, that if I find that, I'm gonna pick it up and put it in my cart, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it, and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. Tip number 2 is have a plan/route. And what I mean by have a plan or a route is really being intentional about where you're going and the order in which you're going to these thrift stores. I really love to do them all at once. I find that way I am not only making it feel more special and an event, oh, I'm going thrifting, but it also allows me to keep better track of what I'm buying. Within that, I have a hierarchy of places that I visit, and it is very intentional, my hierarchy. I tend to start at the more expensive thrift stores, the things where the consignment shops and the things that I know where they have higher end, more boutique thrift stores. I start there and work my way down until I end up at Value Village, which I don't like to buy a lot of my stuff at Value Village, but it is like my backup plan. It's always my backup plan. If I can't find it at any of the other thrift stores I like, I'll stop in at Value Village, and I can normally find what I'm looking for there, but I prefer not to, so it's always last. I'll walk you guys through my plan for my last thrifting adventure so that you can get a good idea of why I ordered this. The first place I stopped was a little shop called The Vend. They are a consignment shop of lightly used goods. They sell higher end name brand clothing. The girls there are amazing. I've always had really great service. It's a really beautiful location, but you are paying up. You're not paying for the new price, like as if you were to go buy it new. You are definitely getting a discount and a deal, but you aren't going to find like a dollar bin there with Aritzia in it. You are going to find the clothes at a valued price, but they are going to be discounted. So if I'm looking for something super specific, or I know I want something from Aritzia, or I know I want something from this brand or that brand, and I stop at The Vend first for 2 reasons. A, it's the most expensive stop on my list, and 2, I don't really have anything there that I need. And I do that because if I buy something there, I'm going to blow my budget on one thing. We'll get to budget in the next step, but if I blow my budget at The Vend, then I'm done and I have no more shopping to do. And that makes me pause. I'll see something, I'll love it. I even may try it on or look at it or go back and look at it. But if it blows my budget, that means I can't do anything else that day. I can't do any of my other thrifting, and I want to do my other thrifting. So it makes me second guess, and it makes me like slow down my spending and slow down my shopping because I want to go and find more things. Maybe I can find a better deal. Maybe I can find something similar in a better color, those sorts of things. It really like is my first block, and I find that if you start saying no, it is easier to say no next time. After The Vend, I headed down to Brickia Brack. I had never been here before. It's a new shop here in downtown Victoria. I stopped here because it was new to me and I didn't really know what to expect. I wanted to be surprised, and I didn't know their price point. I didn't really know what they carried, but I wanted to look and see if I could find anything on my list there. I did get lucky, and I'll save that for the haul. I did get a few things here. I'll save that for my haul. I really love this little shop. They actually had really good prices, and their selection was small. Like, it's a small store, but you really feel like they're finding good stuff. They had a little bit of clothing, but most of it was like books and stuff and like old patches and old art, that sort of thing. And I really loved that. It was a cool little shop and I really enjoyed going in there. It definitely will stay on my list of places I like to go. Then I stopped in at kind of the holy trinity of thrifting in Victoria, BC, and that is the combination of cherry pick, which is like clothing, mostly like band t-shirts and like streetwear clothes, and Vintage After Death, which I love. I love it in Vintage After Death. It is such a cool little store, and they have such a wide selection of different things. They do have knickknacks, but it is mostly clothing, and I love it in there. It's just so fun. And then I can never help myself from stopping in at Flavor upstairs. Flavor has like a regular store, and then their upstairs is this like vintage secondhand shop. They always have the coolest stuff in there. It is so fun to pick through. The staff is always super great, and I love it in there. I have found some of my favorite pieces at upstairs, but all 3 of these places are roughly the same price. They aren't as expensive as The Vend, but you're gonna be paying anywhere from $10 to $15 for like something simple. I really love sweaters there. They're normally around $22 to $35. You're not paying bargain bin prices, but you are going to be able to find something really cool and, in my opinion, worth it. It feels like a treasure hunt every time you go in there. And like I mentioned before, my last stop of my route is normally Value Village, especially if I haven't found everything I needed or had the intention of buying on that trip. I'll stop in Value Village as my last stop, and I did do that. I don't have much footage of while I was in there because it was super busy, and I don't know why. I feel weird having my camera out in Value Village. I don't know. It just doesn't feel good to me always in there. Sometimes I just get a weird vibe. I got a couple of things there as well that I'll show you in the haul, but it always is my last stop. The prices aren't that good. They aren't, but they have a huge selection. It really is like the big thrift store here in Victoria, at least in like the downtown area that's close to me. So it is like always my backup plan and my last stop. My third tip is, and repeat it with me, set a budget. Have a budget, okay? I know that it's not sexy. I know that it's not fun. I know that that's not what you want me to say, but it is the truth and it does help. I'll let you know, my budget, this thrift excursion was $50. The thing about the budget is I didn't care what I spent it on as long as it was an item on my green light list. I didn't care if I got every single item on my green light list or if I bought one item for $50. Didn't matter to me. And that's the point of the budget. The budget is there to set that limitation for you so that you're A, not overspending or feeling like have no control over the matter. And it also is a way to say no. Like I said in step 2, I start at the most expensive place. I can have the most fun because if I spend my whole budget and I blow my whole budget at the beginning, I'm done. I go home. I actually take my little butt and I go back home because I'm done. I've spent my budget. That was my limit. And sometimes my budget is $10. Sometimes my budget is higher. Sometimes my budget is lower. But I set a budget for that particular thrifting adventure. And I feel like that is the most important part. Even if you don't keep a budget for your life, which you should, you should. Budgeting is the most freeing thing you can do for yourself. That's not what this video is about. A strict dollar amount that you're allowed to spend is so freeing because it allows you in your brain to say no more easily. And then if you do say yes, it feels super intentional and is intentional and you don't feel guilty about it after because you were within your budget. How nice is that? To not feel bad after you went shopping or not feel like you spent too much money or you destroyed your credit history. You set a budget, you stuck to it, and now you feel good about everything you bought and everything feels so good, right? Speaking of the time you've all been waiting for, what did I buy on this adventure? I stuck to my guns. I only bought things on my list and I stuck within my budget. I'm actually $10 under budget. I only spent $40 this trip and that feels so good to me. And I'm going to take that $10 and I'm going to roll it over into my next thrifting budget because you can do that. If you don't spend all your money, you can roll it over. Let me show you guys what I got. Okay, I'm going to go in order that I did my route. I didn't get anything at the Vend. I knew I probably wasn't going to get anything there, but I did get a few things from Brescia Brack, that salvage store, the second one I stopped at, the one I hadn't been at before. The first thing I got were these little books. Look at them. Look how cute they are. They're jewel toned, cool June toned. Note the list. And they are so precious. I already have a million ideas of what I can do with these. And they're special. They're so special. Let me show you really quick. This first one, this is the first aid to the injured. This is a St. John's ambulance handbook or study book. I think there's questions about all the chapters. Just warning, body stuff. I'm going to show you a picture in a sec. Nothing crazy, but bones and arteries. Look how cool that is. In color diagram. And it's pasted in. I don't think that was a part of the book. I don't know. It's a little leaflet in the front. It's illustrated. I think this is so fun and so cool. It says it's the 38th edition. The date is 1928. This is such a cool find. I love this. This is so cool. The other little book I got is this Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale book, and it's full of little fairy tales. I think it's from the 50s. Let me see. Yeah, 1950 it has as its publishing date, and it has little stories like The Princess and the Pea. I love that one. Thumbelina, The Little Mermaid, some of my favorites. I really just thought it was super sweet. I know the Hans Christian Andersen ones are sometimes dark and twisty and sad, but those are my favorite versions of fairy tales. Anyway, those are the versions of the fairy tales that I grew up listening to. I know that. Here's a deep cut lore, if you were wanting some lore about me. My grandfather used to read me the original versions of fairy tales when I was a kid. Don't know why. He's no longer with us, so I couldn't ask him. He had this big book. It didn't have a front or a back on it. It was unbound, and it was the original version of all these different fairy tales, and he would read them to me when I was a kid, and I loved them. And I don't know. I've always had an affinity for the original versions. Have a special place in my heart, and the book fit my criteria. See? How special and fun. Oh, get a good look at that there. And the binding. Oh, and it's illustrated. Did I mention? Look at Thumbelina. She is so cute. And both of these books were $3 a pop. I think they were $2.99 on the shelf. I love them. Love this buy. The next thing I bought, frames. Look at these. It's a matching set of gold picture frames. I have a project I'm wanting to do with smaller frames, and I was wanting 2 sets of 2. That's a hint about what I'm doing with them. 2 sets of 2. If you know, you know. I thought these were just a lovely pair. They looked in pretty good, like good condition. I don't think they're from the same place because their backings are different, but the fronts are a pretty good match, and I love that. I love it when things are like, if you look at them from here, they're the same, but when you get up close and look at the details, they're different. That's how I feel about my cats. And again, I paid $5 a pop for these frames, which is a good price for this city. That's a good price to pay. I didn't pick anything up from the Holy Trinity, Cherry Pick, Vintage After Death, or Flavor Upstairs. I almost bought a skirt from Flavor Upstairs, but it wasn't quite the right color for me, and it wasn't on my to-buy list, so I couldn't justify picking it up. The last place I stopped was Value Village, and I did get more things there. It was a good Value Village day. Like I said, I didn't get a lot of footage there because there was just a lot of people, but I think it was like restock day, and there was just a ton of stuff out, and I got a few items on my list. This is crazy that this happened. These matching frames that are also different. They're the same frame, but they're from different places, it looks like. Gold, and they're the like oval versions to the square ones. Like they're gonna be the same size, and that is perfect for an upcoming project I have in mind. And I wanted 2 matching sets, but I wanted the sets to be different. But these frames look like they're identical. They're in pretty good condition. Again, like this one's back is flat and this one's is velveted. Like these are different frames, but they look exactly the same. This one's gold might be a little darker than this one, and that's it. How did I get so lucky? I don't know. I felt super lucky finding these. I think I paid $3.99 for each of these. It was $3 or $4.99. And then I got another set. I like to buy things in 2s. I love a set. If you know anything about me, you know I love a set. I got 2 new mugs. Look at these girls. This one does fall out of my green light list, and I'll tell you why. This mug is actually the exact same mug I have at my aunt's house. And every time we go there, I make us a tea and we sit down and we have a cup of tea. And this is the mug. She has a huge cupboard full of them, and I always pick this mug. I don't know why. I always pick this mug to have at her house. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I need one for my house. And it was only $2.99. So I made an exception, but it has like a special sentimental value. And then this mug fits my mug requirements to a T. She's huge. She's a big old jug. And I love the Gordiva, like the chocolate company, the Belgian 1926. How sleek and fun, but vintagey and fun is that? Vintagey and fun. Like, how cool is this? And I love the shape at the bottom of this and the handle. It's got it on both sides. I just thought it was special. And it was also only like $2.99. The last thing I bought at Value Village is a bed sheet. And it is a queen size bed sheet. I paid $4.99 for it, and I think it's going to make the sweetest little sundress and dress for the summer. It is good quality. It's 100% cotton, the right size, the right print. Like, I love these little rosettes on it. I think it's gonna be so pretty and so sweet, and I have a project lined up that I could use this exact pattern for, and that was it. That's my whole haul. I mean, I did get quite a bit of stuff. And I came in under budget. And the best part is I feel zero guilt. I didn't overspend, and everything I got, I love. There was nothing that I brought home and went, ugh, I don't really know if I liked that, which used to happen to me all the time. I used to buy stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this week. If you guys have any tips that you'd like to give me about how you stop yourself from overspending or how you keep yourself from not buying the entire thrift store every time you go, please leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear you guys. If you have any fun thrifting stories, let me know. I'd love to hear them. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys are a joy. I love being here. So I will see you guys next Sunday. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you liked me, please consider subscribing. This channel is growing and I am so, so happy, and I couldn't be more grateful for every single person who subscribes. I notice every time someone subscribes, and I'm just so grateful. Every time someone comments, my heart is so filled, and I'm just so happy to be able to interact with you. I can't wait to make another video for you guys next week. I will see you then. Bye. Oh, hold for a cat. Hold for a cat. Who would you like? Oh, you guys are in for a treat. Here she is. Oh, she's a big girl. She even has happy ears being picked up. Oh, you have anything to say, Annie Lou, to the people? Subscribe to my mom's channel so that I can get more treats. More treats. You have anything to say, Jordan?
Love you.
Thank you, guys. I will see you next Sunday. Bye.